Hey there, good Sunday to you. Welcome to Weekend Recharge. May the 4th be with you. I'm Paul Goodlow.
I'm McCollum.
And I'm Lynette Charles. America's weekend depends on the weather. And you guys seem to be so into Star Wars. Are you guys the ones that stand outside and wait for the movies to come, like in that long line and camp out?
No. No.
You didn't?
No.
No?
Okay. You're
not really not into it
You
then.
act like such a Star Wars fan.
I am. I do like Star Wars, but you tried to act like at the top of the show, and I'm
Okay,
going to call you out
so
on that one that I didn't know that.
Name some of the animated versions of Star Wars.
What do you mean animated?
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, I know the movies. What do you mean
They
animated?
have animated.
I mean, I'm not into that. I just do the regular movies like everybody else does the regular movies. Let Molly answer that, because she's like you.
I like Star Wars. I have not watched any of the animated.
Okay, it was a test.
Okay.
Me too. I'm all the live action, but the animated ones, I can't do it.
I feel like the weather this week more needs the Imperial March than the Star Wars theme. Because we have more. What'd you say?
I'm your father.
Oh. More storms just rolling their way into the 95 corridor. And this
Heavy
is after
rain, flash flood threats are increasing.
They certainly are. And along the 95 corridor, that's where we find the most active weather for today. Tomorrow included, all courtesy of this same low pressure system that is stuck. It's stuck in the same area. A couple of features to point out here on water vapor. Always interesting to look at water vapor, especially when you have a setup like this. You've got the dry air that's funneling in behind the cold front. There's the cold front and all the moisture out ahead of it and still lingering in South Florida. But you see this swirling motion? That's our low pressure, and that's where it has been stuck now for a minute, and it's going to be stuck at least until we can get the next system to move along and kick this out of the region and provide us with less unsettled weather. But it's pretty unsettled in southern Florida. You can see the cooler, drier air in the southeast. A lot better day today across portions of the southeast than what we saw yesterday. But here's the deal. Mostly just rain right now in Florida, and not everyone is seeing rain. It's just south of Orlando, Fort Myers, the rain moving through Santa Mel Captiva Island with some lightning, but the lightning has really dropped off. That's been the trend over, say, the last hour and a half to 2 hours. That's good news. That means things are weakening as they continue to move onshore from the Gulf. But that being said, there's still the chance for severe weather, straight line damaging winds, as well as hail, even a low-end tornado threat. Let's get the timing on this, because most of us actually stay dry in Florida and along the 95 corridor for a majority of the day, but you can see a few areas. This is around the dinner time frame. Raleigh, Wilmington, after the bumpy start you had this morning, more thunderstorms expected this afternoon. And then down towards Miami, Fort Lauderdale, that's where I think we're going to see the most coverage of showers and thunderstorms and the most potential for any of these storms to go severe. But then we do it all over again tomorrow. Palm Bay, West Palm Beach, Miami, northern portions of the Keys, all courtesy, yes, you guessed it, of the same system that really won't move over the next 24 hours. But we have pretty nice weather once again for parts of the southeast that are behind the cold front that really had a rough start to the weekend, say Friday into Saturday. So Atlanta 73, Nashville, even cooler with the cloud cover in place, hanging out in the 60s. But we can follow this cold front all the way up into the northeast, Paul, into parts of Philly, which it was a little bit dicey last night in the Philly area.
Yeah, no surprise, because it felt like
We haven't seen a whole lot of rain. A lot of us are pretty far behind. The drought is continuing to build in. The rain in New Mexico, absolutely welcome. But then we go over into portions of the southern plains and the central plains, and that's where we've had too much. The Red River Valley, north portions of Texas, Oklahoma City. We're going to add additional rain in those areas, but it's not as much as what we were seeing last week. Now, it could be too much of a good thing in places like New Mexico, eastern New Mexico, because we have a flood watch. It's really just going to depend on the rate that the rain falls. Thunderstorms with high rainfall rates over the desert Southwest usually cause flooding problems just because of the terrain. It's just different than other areas where there's more to soak up some of that rainfall. But let's get the timing for you as you plan out your Sunday. By the way, this red area is the severe weather outlook for so many of us today from New Mexico back into western Texas. We see several rounds of rain not only moving through Roswell, but also up through Albuquerque. The I-40 corridor could be a difficult drive today with rain coming down, reducing visibility. Even through the overnight hours, we're still seeing rain. All of this moisture continues to be pulled to the north as our low pressure system. Yes, this is a different low pressure system than what we were talking about for the eastern seaboard. This is another one. It is also cut off from the upper level flow, but it is going to be moving very slowly to the east. So that means Monday, we have a severe weather threat in portions of Texas, the Panhandle down to the Hill Country, and there's the potential there for some discrete supercells in the afternoon, early part of the evening, as you would expect the time frame to be this time of year in Texas, right as the sun is going down. Discrete supercells with the tornado potential, large hail potential, wind potential. But as the sun goes down, the low-level jet kicks in and it fires up a whole complex of storms that's going to race across Texas through the overnight hours, bringing us rain and rolling right into Tuesday. So another active week ahead for portions of the southern plains. And Paul, this follows an active weekend in parts of the southeast.
We did, but right now the
I think I'm going to be doing a staycation this year. It's difficult traveling with a toddler. If you are traveling maybe for any graduations, or maybe you're getting an early kickoff to summer travel, we do have a few spots that we have low impacts to airports today, but those really add up, especially when you take into account connecting flights or anything like that. So some places that you could run into some trouble, some of our Florida airports, but also the 95 corridor. If you're traveling by car from Miami all the way up into New York City, we've got thunderstorms along the eastern seaboard, some of them with the potential to be strong to severe, gusty, straight line damaging winds. I think that's going to be our primary concern, but there's also a low-end threat for a tornado. We'll see the severe weather threat continue tomorrow. This is going to be from Orlando all the way down to Miami. Once again, the 95 corridor there in Florida. As we go up to the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast over to the Ohio Valley and areas like even Pittsburgh has the chance of severe weather today, with winds and hail being the primary concerns, and flooding. I know that we've had a lot of drought across the Northeast, but you get this much rain in a short amount of time, and it's very possible that at least through Wednesday we could have some flooding potential, but this is very big. All right, Allison Chenard, NASA's student launch activity lead, thank you for being with us, and best of luck to all of the competitors today.
Yeah, I love how it actually falls on May the 4th.
Right.
So.
I don't know if they planned that, but
no, they probably didn't plan that, but it's great coincidence.
Lynette?
All right, guys, let's do a little bit of traveling for today because